Okay, now I've got everything all dominoed. I've got the lines where I dominoed those and they all line up. You'll notice that I also did the chalk lines like an angle in one direction. That is simply to make sure everything gets lined back up the way you originally wanted it to. Because when you take those off, and you saw me dominoing that and put them on the side so they weren't in the way, when they come back out and I got them on my clamping area now, I gotta make sure they go back the same way, and it's easy to get messed up. And sometimes, like on the outsides, obviously I don't have any dominoes. If you don't do that, you never know. If you don't notice it, you might have it the other way. Just want to make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be. So I'm ready to get going. I've got my clamps set up. I like to have them set a little bit over the outside edges. This is about 50 inches long, so I'm going with a center and 2 outsides. I'm also going to clamp the top as well. More important, I think, if you've got live edge where it's not a completely flat area that the clamp can pull against. So I like to do a little bit on the bottom, and I like to do a clamp on the top. That way it's kind of pulling evenly. So when I clamp these together, I'm going to clamp these, I'm going to clamp these, and that just seems to go well. I like to clamp the center first, then there, and work my way out. You'll notice that I have some foam edges on these. That is for when the glue is on there and it hits this metal, it seems to stain the wood. So this keeps it a little bit away from that, so you don't have as much staining on the top where the metal is going to meet the wood. So another little tip makes cleanup a little bit easier. So let's get at it. I'll show you how the clamping goes. Okay, what I'm doing now is everything has been glued, domino glued, clamped together. I got to make sure all of my lines are lining up, my reference marks, so I'm ready to clamp right now. So I've got these all set to go. I'm going to put the top ones on now. I'll just get it a little bit tight, not too much. Over here. Okay, so now I'm going to start from here and work my way out. First, I want to check to make sure on the bottom area it's completely flat, that the board isn't up or anything like that. So I just want to check that to make sure everything looks really good. So now I'm going to start clamping. And what I'm looking for is glue squeeze through. Where the glue gets through, it squeezes out the top. I want to make sure I got plenty of adhesive. You'll notice I loaded it up. Okay, so I got everything really well tightened, and I'm not going to over tighten it. especially with a thinner piece, it might want to bow up a little bit. So this is pretty hefty. This is about 2 inches thick, so it's not going anywhere. But still, I think it's a good thing on all pieces. So everything is glued together. You can see that I've got glue coming through everywhere, which is a good sign. Now I'm going to wipe this down so that it is easier, a little cleaner as I'm working through things. So I'll go through here. I'm going to get everything cleaned off. At this point, I'm going to let it sit for 24 hours at least before I unclamp that. And then I'll start the sanding, belt sanding, final cutting process to get this desktop ready to go. I appreciate you watching. Thanks for watching again. And put a like on there and a thumbs up, and please subscribe.